Welcome to After Dark Creations Art and Review. I'm Jen, your artist and monster buddy, here to share my love of cult and genre films with you. Each week, I'll be reviewing films and discussing points of interest from storytelling, cinematography, and iconic imagery. Then, I'll break down how these films inspire and inform my art. Just a heads up, there will be spoilers. This week, I'll be reviewing Monster Squad. Monster Squad was released in August of 1987 and was directed by Fred Derrick. The script was co-written by Shane Black and Fred Derrick. Although having limited box office success, the film has developed a cult following. It was one of my favorite growing up, and I continue to watch it this day with a lot of love and admiration. Monster Squad has a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb and a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film is relatively family-friendly, although the kids do use a few curse words and they're pretty jarring. I definitely recommend the film, but just be aware of the language. It's a little cringy, but so was the 80s. The film starts with an opening crawl describing how Van Helsing blew his opportunity to banish Dracula for good and send him to limbo. The opening scene of the film shows Van Helsing and a group of villagers attacking Dracula's castle. They use an amulet to open the door to limbo, and they all get sucked into a giant black swirling vortex. The film cuts to the 80s. The setting of the film is now set in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where a group of monster-loving kids come across the diary of Van Helsing. The group of teens are led by Sean, played by Andre Gower, and include Horace, played by Brent Shulman, Patrick, played by Robbie Krieger, and Eugene, played by Michael Fausto. The new member of the team is the rebel Rudy, played by Ryan Lambert. Sean's poor sister Phoebe wants to join the club, but is refused entry. Sean realizes Van Helsing's diary is in German and seeks the assistance of Scary German Guy, a kindly older neighbor. He translates the diary and reveals the major conflict of the film. The amulet that holds back the forces of darkness is vulnerable once every century. The amulet will be vulnerable the following day at the stroke of midnight. Dracula will try to assemble the forces of darkness to destroy the amulet and rule the world. Scary German Guy isn't scary at all. He's a Holocaust survivor and knows quite a bit about monsters and evil. He's an interesting character who seeks to aid the children in their fight for good. Dracula assembles a monstrous crew to destroy the amulet, including the Mummy, the Gillman, the Wolfman, and a few vampire brides, and a reluctant, good-natured Frankenstein's monster. The scenes where the monsters reunite is a wonderful throwback to the Universal classic monsters. The Wolfman in human form is also a reluctant participant. He tries to warn the police but is thwarted by Dracula. I really love the makeup design for the Wolfman. Dracula finds the amulet before the kids in a creepy old southern mansion, but is unable to retrieve it because it is protected by crosses. Frankenstein's monster approaches Phoebe and befriends her. She introduces him to the club and he offers to help. The scene in the clubhouse where Frankenstein's monster holds a plastic Ben Cooper mask of himself and says, "Scary," in a really sad voice is tear-jerking. It always gets me, and I want to give the poor monster a big hug. This movie is 80s-tastic and over the top, but it also hits me with all the feels. No 80s movie is complete without a musical montage, and Monster Squad delivers, with a montage of the club preparing to fight the monsters. The film is full of quotable moments, including my favorite scene is when the club goes to the mansion in search of the amulet and fights with the Wolfman. Sean tells Horace to kick the Wolfman in the nards, and he does. Then he delivers the best quote of the film. "Wolfman's got nards!" Sorry, that got me. Okay. Ultimately, the kids get the amulet and head for the town square to open the door to Limbo and send the monsters away. The Mummy, the brides, and the Gillman are all dispatched by the squad members, and the Wolfman is blown up, reassembled, then shot. Dracula tries to stop Phoebe from reciting the incantation to open Limbo, read to her by Scary German Guy. He grabs her by the face and vamps out on the poor kid, but Frankenstein's monster saves the day and throws Dracula on a fence. In another sweet scene, Frankenstein holds Phoebe's hand as she finishes reciting the incantation and opens the door to Limbo, dragging everything into the vortex. Dracula grabs Sean and tries to take him down with him, but Van Helsing emerges from the vortex and stakes Dracula and gives Sean a thumbs up. In the saddest part of the movie, Frankenstein is pulled into the vortex, and Phoebe throws her plush toy Scraps to him, and he waves goodbye as the vortex closes. I am not too proud to admit I still get choked up by watching this scene. The army arrives, finding the club has saved the day. I love this movie. I watch it every October, usually while I'm decorating for Halloween. It's a fun classic with just the right amount of spookiness. Now, let's get into how the film informs the art. I chose to sculpt the Gillman because he's probably the scariest and most intricate creature design. I love that they updated the creature from the Black Lagoon design and made him more toothy and ferocious. I tried to match the tonal greens of the character. I changed the color to the eyes to a brighter yellow as opposed to the red because it wasn't quite matching up. Please tell me which is your favorite monster from the Monster Squad in the comment section below, and share your Monster Squad art with me using the hashtag AfterDarkReview. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. I'm Jen. Thanks for watching, and let's keep it spooky, friends.